Rescued golden retriever gives birth to a litter of cow pups. In late 2017, two dog-loving foster parents took in a pregnant golden retriever mix named Rosie. They expected a large litter of fluffy golden puppies, but instead they discovered cows? Or at least what looked like cows. These oddly colored puppies threw the internet into a storm. How did Rosie get cow puppies? And what happened to these puppies after they were raised? Learn the charming story of Rosie and her unexpected litter. Rosie had a hard life and was abandoned when she needed help the most. Meet Rosie, the cute and confused mom. In October 2017, Rosie, a golden retriever mix, was disowned by her previous owners. She was left in a shelter, visibly pregnant and close to birth. The shelter's manager feared for her health and for the fact that she'd give birth without proper assistance. Although shelters have drastically lowered their euthanization policies, most are overcrowded with dogs and don't have the resources to care for a new litter. Rosie needed caring owners now more than ever. The rescuers swoop in. The shelter's manager called Neuse River Golden Retriever Rescue, which helps dogs find homes in Raleigh, North Carolina. The rescuers had to work fast to get Rosie settled before childbirth. Neuse River is an organization dedicated to the rescue and rehabilitation of golden retrievers. Volunteers foster stray or abandoned dogs until they're well enough to be adopted. Fortunately for Rosie, the organization's members knew a couple who could care for her individual needs. Rosie needed help, fast. Help is on the way. A Neuse volunteer picked up Rosie from the shelter the morning after the call. By this time, Rosie appeared so close to birth that the volunteer worried she'd go into labor on the drive to the Raleigh vet clinic. The volunteer checked Rosie into the clinic, where vets determined that she was healthy. The rescuer's next task was to find Rosie a foster family who would assist her birth. John and Katie Black to the rescue. Katie and John Black have fostered over 20 dogs since 2009 and owned 3 dogs of their own, Annie, Leroy, and Winchester. The volunteers knew that John and Katie had the experience necessary to foster both Rosie and her pups. The couple had worked with Neuse River for years and excitedly took in Rosie. They brought her home on October 28, 2017, 5 days after Rosie was dropped off at the shelter. But John and Kate weren't expecting what popped out of Rosie. Rosie adjusted well. The Blacks received Rosie just 5 days after she was dropped off at the shelter. "This is our new foster Rosie," the Blacks reported on their Instagram, who is very preggers and close to delivering her puppies. The couple revealed that Rosie seemed shy and scared, but was otherwise very sweet. When the time came, Katie and John Black helped Rosie successfully give birth. They met Rosie's 4 healthy pups and surprise that captivated the internet. Rosie gives birth. John and Kate helped Rosie deliver her pups. Although it had its difficulties, both mother and puppies came out fine. All the puppies were the right size and weight for her breed, or what everyone assumed was Rosie's breed. The couple expected a larger litter since Rosie appeared so big. Although average litters consist of 5 or 6 puppies, Rosie only gave birth to 4. But that wasn't the only surprise that hit the Blacks. Not quite the puppy pile we were expecting. "Our foster dog and golden mix gave birth yesterday," Katie said, "to baby cows. The 4 pups looked nothing like their mother. They all had black spots. Although no one knows what breed the father was, he clearly wasn't a golden retriever." The Blacks named the newborn pups Daisy, Clarabelle, Betsy, and Moo. The family photos not only received jokes online, but also from the Blacks family. "My dad laughed for quite a while at the photos," Katie told the Associated Press in November 2017. This led the Blacks on a search to find out what type of animal the father could have been. Cow puppy's father could be... Several dog breeds have white fur with black spots, so it's hard to determine which breed the father was. Like Rosie, it could have been a mix. But that doesn't stop the internet users from speculating on which breed Rosie mated with. Theories vary from Dalmatian, English Setter, Blue Tick Coonhound, and Wetterhound. However, only Dalmatians have true spot designs. Every other fur pattern is tickling, which are small, isolated areas of tiny dots. So Dalmatian is the likely choice. Rosie's baby cows. Katie said her dad loved the mismatch so much that he recommended posting it online. He joked that the pictures would go viral, and Katie agreed to add photos to Reddit. Father Black was right. The new mom took the internet by storm. In the picture, Rosie appears just as confused as the Reddit users. The image received over 90,000 upvotes and 1,600 comments asking about the new family. This attention skyrocketed when the Blacks posted on Instagram. They look like their dad. According to Nest, puppies inherit certain traits depending on which genes the parents carry. Australian Shepherd Health and Genetics Institute claims that dominant genes always outrank recessive ones, which determines a dog's appearance. It's safe to say that Rosie passed on recessive genes, and the father offered dominant genes. By chance, all of her puppies took on the physical traits of the father. The explanation makes the pair no less amusing, though. As with many puppy stories, internet news spread like wildfire. The internet got a kick out of it. Redditors flocked over the cow puppies and visibly astonished golden retriever mom. Users attempted to translate Rosie's expression as best they could. "I believe there's been a mix-up here," one user quipped. Other users claimed that she appeared like she was mentally defending her pups. According to one user, Rosie's face said, "So what? If it's really such a big deal, are you so close-minded? Really, Karen?" Kate tells her story. Alongside the positive attention, some users were concerned that Kate and John had intentionally bred two foster rescues. Kate clarified that they received Rosie already pregnant. "We weren't going to abort her puppies," she commented. "She'll be spayed immediately when she can." Since John and Kate already owned 3 rescue dogs, they intend to adopt Rosie as soon as she and her litter recovered. They wouldn't have to wait long, but it did take some work. Behind the scenes, though, Rosie struggled. Rosie wasn't doing so well. Although the birth was successful, Rosie suffered some health issues. After the delivery, the Blacks realized that Rosie had an infection. They took her to the vet, who administered antibiotics for several weeks. Rosie likely suffered from a bacterial infection in the uterus called metritis, which happens after a rough birth. The symptoms could cause Rosie to reduce milk production and not be able to care for her puppies. Fortunately, she had Kate and John. Kate and John helped Rosie heal. While Rosie was recovering, the Blacks helped her by bottle feeding the pups. They were truly in love with each puppy, especially when they held them in their hands. Although they knew they couldn't keep them, Kate and John cared for the pups as if they were their own. Fortunately, Rosie healed in time. She eventually fed her puppies herself and returned to being a happy, healthy mama. Her puppies also grew up with few complications. Despite the infection, Rosie didn't give up on being a good mama. While social media users all pondered the strange relation, Rosie didn't seem to mind one bit. She remained protective over her pups and cuddled beside them for weeks. Moo, Betsy, Daisy, and Clarabelle all grew up healthy. "She's one proud mama," explained Kate. According to Instagram, Rosie would go wherever her pups were. When Kate moved the puppies to clean sheets in a laundry basket, Rosie hopped in after them. It turns out this isn't uncommon. Pets for Homes authors reveal that puppies appearing different from their parents or littermates happens commonly among dogs, especially concerning mixed breeds. When it comes to non-pedigree dogs, there's a lot more scope for variance, to the point that color and other manifestations of physical appearance can be quite variable within the same litter. What fascinates onlookers is that all of Rosie's pups look like cows, and none of them even look like dogs at first. As they grew up, they fit their forms as dogs. The pups are in good paws. Kate and John not only took great care of the puppies, but they kept the family's biggest fans in the loop. They updated their Instagram page consistently to let everyone follow the cow puppy's growth. The puppies always hung around Rosie, often sleeping on her paws. The Blacks shared that Clarabelle showed her true colors early, being the loudest of the pups. As the mini cows grew, their personalities shone through. What happened to the cow puppies? They found their happily ever after. The cows grew bigger in a couple weeks. By early December 2017, the pups celebrated their birthday of only a couple weeks. Even by then, they developed individual personalities. On December 6th, Kate updated Instagram on the cow puppies. Daisy's a sweetheart, but a little anxious, shy, hesitant, and fearful. Clarabelle's hilarious, fearless Spitfire. Moo is a snuggly baby that likes to be held and cries when he wants attention. Betsy's the sweetest and most gentle puppy. I want to keep her. The Pups part ways. By the first week of January 2018, 2 different families adopted Betsy and Clarabelle. Although the Blacks felt sad to see them go, they ensured that each cow pup would receive the love and attention they deserved. Daisy also got adopted, and her new family renamed her to Lily. Later, Moo gained a new home and a new name, Barkley. Moo, along with his new siblings, Max, Mo, and Abby, all have their own Instagram account. Rosie must say goodbye to her pups. Rosie also entered a forever home. Although John and Kate